It's the one that everyone talks about. We're in Paris, let's go foreign, we're just here to help. Can you tell that my hair's gotten any longer? I don't know. Good morning, it's Rachel Ziegler. Whoa, she's on YouTube. It's probably been, well, over 6 months, right? Maybe not well over, maybe just around 6 months. I kind of wonder if that's just what my channel is going to become. Is it going to become me posting whenever I feel like it, or am I gonna make this schedule of like every 6 months I will suddenly get the urge to share something with you all? I'm in Paris. I'm doing Fashion Week this year for Dior, if you guys don't know. I work with Viewer quite often, and I work with Your Beauty, the fashion, obviously, and I'm in Paris just to sit at their show and to do some work. So I'm here for a week. I'm already a bit homesick, which probably sounds really pathetic, and I totally understand why you would think that, because obviously I'm also like cradled by opportunity at the moment. That is not something that's lost on me, obviously. I love my job and I love all these amazing things I'm able to do. I'm really excited to be here. I haven't been to Paris in a couple months. Last time I was here was with our producer Greg on Hunger Games. We were living in Dusseldorf, and I was able to take the train to Paris from Dusseldorf, and it only took like 4 hours, and it was amazing. We went to Disney. I'm going to Disney today with my publicist, Ashton, who everybody knows and loves. She's the best. I think the reason I'm homesick, there's a couple reasons. Obviously, it's hard to be away from home as often as I am in the profession that I'm in, because we're always away from home. We are always somewhere else. I didn't come to Paris directly from home. I was in LA for a couple days doing Shazam press, because Shazam actually comes out in 2 months. The passage of time is inevitable and crazy. And if you guys remember, the second I land in Los Angeles, I am flooded with like a flurry of different emotions. And I can't figure out what's real and what's not. It's funny with me. I don't realize that I've been in a depressive episode until I'm starting to come out of it. And I think I started to come out of it like a week before I ended up leaving for Los Angeles. And then as I was landing in Los Angeles, I realized what a dark headspace I had been in and how La was making me feel like I was still there, because La is a really hard place to be, especially if you're a New Yorker. I think the adjustment is so much different. Josh and I have been operating and living together, and not to sound codependent, but I miss him, you know? Actually, I resent that. I resent the fact that I felt the need to say that, because whenever I talk about, like, I've been away from Josh for 4 days now, and I miss him, obviously. He's like the best. Like, please don't feel bad for missing your partner. After a couple days of being away from them, don't let anybody make you feel like that's like a negative thing. It's not. It's totally normal. You should like your partner. You should like your alone time, and I do. I really do. I'm having the best time. I've been talking for a really long time. This is all to say I've been in a pretty bad headspace for a long time. I think a majority of it has to do with the fact that I spent double the time away from my family than I expected to last year, and kept myself busy enough with work that I didn't realize what a negative headspace I was in. And then
Paris, I'm doing Fashion Week this year for Dior. No, are you excited?
It was when I really got home and there was something else on the horizon that I kind of realized, oh, that might not be really good for me, but I'm determined to be fine and have a good time. I got back into therapy. I couldn't be with my therapist all year last year, because I ended up spending the entire year outside of the United States. And that was really hard, because there was so much transition and so much change happening in my life at that time. And I really, really needed some mental, emotional, spiritual guidance. So shout out to my girl, Nancy Thebum. Calm, and everything's been really good. So cheers, I'm going to Disney today. I don't know what kind of video this is going to be. It might be really short, it might be really long. I have no idea, so I guess we'll figure it out by it's snowing in Disney music. Hey guys, music. You excited, music? They drew me a little bad. I love it here. I love this place. I'm never leaving, except I miss Josh so much. So I'm going to leave. Ashley and I went to Disney. It's her birthday on Thursday, so today was kind of like a little celebration, kind of. We got matching alien hats from Buzz. Lightyear, and we wrote everything we wanted to ride. Super fun. Those are moments where I really just love being a Disney princess. Shout out to Sylvia at the Lucky Nugget. She was really sweet. She asked for a photo. We took a picture. It was so nice. And shout out to sweet Clara. They were waiting outside my hotel today in like a full rainbow pink ensemble. Gorgeous human. I met them 2 years ago outside my hotel when I came to Paris Fashion Week the first time, and they gave me a red beret and a keychain of the Eiffel Tower, and obviously, I've never forgotten them because I saw them and I went, I'm so sorry I don't remember your name, but I know. I've met you before, and they were like, yes, I can't believe you remember, I just said you want to know. I really do almost always remember. I have a steel trap memory. It's a blessing and a curse. It's probably a real pain in the ass to date me. Shout out to Joshua because I remember so much. I'm not going to go ahead and do like I remember everything, which I do say to Josh and say, I remember everything, but I remember a lot. And I remember most of the things and most of the people. And I've been so blessed to meet so many wonderful people in my time on earth. Makes me a very content individual. Just know that if you see me, say hi. I love talking to you all. We usually have a lot of laughs, some hugs. Sometimes I'm in a rush and I can't talk. But I still tell you that I love you or give you a little wave or a smile. Yeah? I never hate when people say hi. I hate when I find out like after the fact that people are scared or like didn't say hi or like saw me and didn't say anything. Please say hi. I had a really good day, a lot of fun with my girl Ash. It's nice to spend time with her again because really haven't seen her in a very long time. Because I've been in Europe for a year anyways. That's been an update on me. Tomorrow's the fashion show. I'm pretty nervous because there's like a lot of cameras and a lot of paparazzi and a lot of fashion people tomorrow, and I don't really feel like belong in that crowd. I don't think I get taken very seriously. I think a lot of people are very mean whenever I do public appearances, and so when I do public appearances, I get very anxious. I had an anxiety attack on the plane ride here because I was just kind of remembering how the
To Disney. It's her birthday on Thursday, so today was kind of
like very quiet moments. I don't get a lot of. I think I've only gotten one other massage in my entire life, and I came out of that. It was right before I went to the BAFTAs and the Critics' Choice, and I came out of that some type of way and really felt confident and good and beautiful and wonderful, and it happens for me again today, where I came out, and it's not just because they pamper you and they make you feel beautiful, but you do like a lot of thinking when they're playing this, like very beautiful, calming music, chill vibe soundtrack playlist that they've put together. I was reflecting on the past year that I've had, and I know that in the past year I posted, I think, one YouTube video, and I know everybody's really pissed at me, and I'm sorry, I don't really like giving people an opportunity to use my content as a way to bring me down about things that I say and things that I do or the way that I look, pretty much. I can't post a picture of myself on Twitter without a bunch of people telling me how ugly I am. All that I've already talked about this, I know. So, very hesitant to share a lot of myself with the world these days. Pretty active. I think in comparison to what I could be, and I'm trying to be less active and less active and check less and scroll less and read less, mostly because when I do look at things or read things on social media, it makes me upset. It makes me like a worse person. I think it makes me, harbor a lot of feelings of guilt, doubt, anxiety, depression. I went to the Louvre today and I got my little audio guide that is on a 3DS, if you remember those. I don't even know if there's still a thing 3DS at the Louvre. That was the virtual audio guide through the museum. One of the most famous pieces there that a lot of people travel from across the world to see is the Winged Victory. I learned today that the Winged Victory came to the Louvre in pieces. Her wings were broken. They had to put her wings back together. But she is still the most popular thing besides the Mona Lisa, I think, at that entire museum. I might be ignorant for saying that, but, there's a couple things that people come to see at the Louvre, and we went today to see two things, and that was the Mona Lisa and the Winged Victory. I need to tell you all, you should go see the wedding at Cana. That's what I travel across the world to see the first time. I ever went to France, I was looking at that and everybody was looking at them. On Lisa and I was like, it made me think because I came into 2023 in pieces. I don't share a lot of the negative things with the internet. I don't want to. I like to share the real things. I like to acknowledge negative things because I think social media is an idealization of a life, and I think fan culture immediately absolves celebrities of humanity and parasocial relationships. Create a narrative in a fan's head that someone can do no wrong. I've done plenty of wrong. I've also acknowledged this before, and in many ways on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, I've talked about what an idiot. I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing. It's just point blank period. Let's just leave it at that, not talk about it much more, but I had a horrible personal arc in 2022. I was isolated from family and friends for the first half. I made an incredible film with incredible people. And then I did a movie with my boyfriend for the other half of the year. And I still just hadn't seen my friends and family until the middle of November of that year. So about a month and a half was left of 2022, and readjusting and adjusting. And readjusting and adjusting to cultures and places is really hard. When you're on your own and you're very young and you've never really been exposed to much of that in your upbringing. I didn't leave the country until I was 16, which I know is young to some, old to others. It wasn't as accessible. I didn't have a lot of money to do that. I saved up, for that trip to France and to Spain that I documented on my YouTube channel when I was 15 years old. I saved up my wedding singing money to be able to pay for half of that trip. My parents paid for the other half. This is besides the point. I had a really tough 2022 personally, mentally, and emotionally, and my therapist isn't licensed internationally. So I couldn't see her out of the country or she would get in trouble. I would get in trouble with the whole thing, and I didn't want that. So I was kind of out there aimless. And turned 21. Had no direction besides career. I had nothing in my mind besides my job. It was all I was worth. And then I would log on to Twitter all the time and read people telling me that I was bad at my job and I was so just doubtful of everything. I came to 2023 in pieces and I intend to put them back together this year. I don't know if it'll happen this year. There might be more damage this year. I don't know what's going to happen. It's January, but I'm determined to not let the break be my end. People still line up to see Winged Victory, despite the fact that she arrived at the museum broken. I'm determined to do that for myself, to put things back together myself. There were good moments in 2023. There were friendships that were made. There were heartbreaks that I experienced in the span of 2 months. When it came to friendships and when it came to a ton of different things you experience, life in such a wild way when you are on your own for the first time, you become so aware of everything that you don't know. And there are some people in this world that will have grace for you. They will say, you know what, it's 21, you don't know what you're saying, you don't know what you're doing. There are others that will say, you're 21 and you should know better, and they might be right. They might be wrong, honestly, depends on the situation. And then there's the internet that has no grace or forgiveness for anybody, for anything. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a ridiculous thing. It is what it is. But I'm thinking about it a lot more, and I feel myself getting angrier then. I've been about it before. I think I've been a very guilty individual and hold a lot of negative feelings towards myself because of it, without acknowledging the fact that I am allowed to be 21. I am allowed to learn lessons. I want the audience to understand I'm talking about my personal life here. So if you clip this on Twitter, please include this. I'm talking about my personal life, the dumbass stuff I've done on the internet, the dumbass things I've said. I don't absolve myself from that. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm 21, please forgive me. The stupid I've said and done is stupid. But I just want to say, in my personal life, I intend to move forward with a lot more grace for myself as I grow, because I'm 21. I am a baby in the eyes of the world, and I need to understand that there is a lot that I don't know, and I won't know it until I learn it until I feel it, until I understand it, until I can see it in my hands and say, I am not broken. I am just learning. My break is not my end. And to everyone who hates when the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces and people still line up to see her, and I can only hope that despite my flaws and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see. Don't be ridiculous, Ashton. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants to be.